shoulders wide, step clean out of line, hold my head up high. They can take my eyes, but I still take to flight. They can't break my mind, for what I'm born with is mine. Remember who you are, remember who you are.
Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Fishing. Alright guys, today I'm off to a place called Biggleswade. It's I think it's just north of Stevenage, and I'm going to be going fishing in a place called Manor Farms. Now I don't know what Manor Farms is like, I've never fished there, a friend of a friend's fished there. They've got many lakes, they've got an on-site tackle shop, on-site facilities. This is all stuff I found out from their website, and the site will be here as always. By the way, they don't sponsor me, as always. I'm just letting you know how it is. So as I said, I'm on my way to Manor Farms today. I'm going to be going for the bream and the carp, okay? Finally giving in to the carp. So I'll be going through the rigs that I use. I'll be making my own rigs, so I'll be showing you guys how to make them yourselves, and I'll try and keep costs down, because let's be honest, cheaper the better. Anyway guys, they've got a silly rule about if you're going to be there all night, you can't be there before 3 o'clock. So I'm not late, but nevertheless I'm not early, so I'm just going to head down there now, set up and get ready for 3 o'clock. So off to Biggleswade and Manor Farms fishing. Wayne's World Fishing, Manor Farms fishing. It's all one big happy fishing family. Let's go guys. Wayne's World Fishing, stay tuned. Right guys, here I am at Becks Lake in Manor Farm in Biggleswade. Now I've set all my gear up, as you can see. I'm in my home for the night. The wind's starting to pick up, and it's starting not as good as it was this morning, let's put it that way. It's starting to get a bit overcast and predicted rain as well, so got all that to look forward to. But apart from that, the rods are out. I've got one on the method feeder, and I've also got one out there with the halibut boilie, and a PVA bag around the hook filled with a load of halibut pellets. So I'll see, just to test the waters, because I've never fished here before, just see what goes and what doesn't go. Oh, by the way, on the method feeder, on the hook, I've got a pellet plus maggot, but in the feeder I've got my, well, I don't know what to call it, my own ground bait, as it were, as a mix of Vitalin, the biscuit based ground bait which I made a few episodes ago. There's a load of particle stuff in there, there's corn in there, there's a hemp seed in there, there's maggot, you name it, it's in there. So it really smells good as well, all mixed up with condensed milk, so you can't go wrong with that. Trust me, it really gets the bream going, and that's the plan. I'm going to try and hit the bream, but the odds of me catching a carp are also high, so you never know. The rods have only just been out for the last 20 minutes, nothing yet, but I'm here all night until tomorrow, so one thing left to do, get the kettle on. Let's get fishing guys. Wayne's World Fishing, stay tuned for more. Monsters yet to come. Right, here's all the stuff you're going to need to make the rig that I showed you. The very simple hair rig for any type of fishing, whether it's carp, bream, tench, you name it. You can catch most fish on this hair rig. It's up to you, you're making your own hair rig. Right, first of all, the most expensive part of the rig will be the braid itself. Here I've got Fox Cortex, £20. Now this is very expensive stuff. You can get this stuff, it's about £12 for 20 metres. It's a very expensive bit of kit, but you can get a cheaper alternative. You can pick up almost the equivalent for about £5. It doesn't have to be Fox or Chubb or any of them big brand names. You can almost find it much cheaper, and buy it online, it's even cheaper that way. But as I said, that's about £12, but I would recommend you find a cheap alternative. Next will be the hooks. Now I have been using these Nash, I think they're Nash Fangs, I haven't really looked at them yet. Nash TTs, are they fanged? But nevertheless, again, I picked these up in a rush. There was 10 of them, and they were about £5 or £6 for 10. It's too expensive, guys. These are good. I'm not just saying they're not. They're very sharp, they're very strong, they're very good. But I got these, which are a cheaper alternative. I got them off of the internet. They're not a big brand name. They look like fangs. They're just as sharp and strong. And I got 25 of those for £3, whereas the fangs I got 10 for about £6. It just pays to shop around, guys. Box standard, number 8. Swivels, they should see you through, and a little bit of float rubber, or if you really want to go all out, get yourself a little bit of a shrink tube, but float rubber will do just as good. That way you don't have to muck about with heating up the shrink tube. Right, let's get to work on making this rig. Right, first of all you're going to need to do is pull off some braid. Now it depends how long you want your rig to be. Me, I like mine to be about, I think it's about 15 to 20 centimetres. So this is how you do it. It's entirely up to you. You can get a ruler if you like, but you know. Right, here we go. Centimetres, starting about there. Okay. Right, I prefer my rigs to be 20 centimetres, but I'm going to allow a little bit extra, another 5 or 6 centimetres, just for tying the hooks and obviously the tags on the hooks and then tags on the nuts and so forth. Okay. So I'm going to cut that there. Not a problemo. That goes away for a minute. Right, now the first part I find is the bit easy, is the hardest part, which is tying the actual hair itself. You just need to make a loop in the end, which is a box standard loop knot. I think that's what it's called, a loop knot. But with my eyes, this could take a while. But yeah, right. All you do, I'm trying to think how I can show this to you because the camera won't pick up on this. I know that much for free. But I'll try and find a picture and stick that in the video to show you how to tie a loop knot. Yeah, so anyway, as I said, my eyes are terrible. Let me tie this loop knot and I'll get back to you, okay guys? Right guys, I've tied the loop, so I hope you can see that. It's just a little loop knot. You should know how to tie one of them by now. Right, the next step is getting the hair as it was on the hook. If you've got one, use yourself a hook clamp, which you might have for tying spaded end hooks and stuff like that. I'm not a big spaded end fan. I mean, they are strong, but I find them a bit fiddly, but nevertheless. Right, now what you want to do is, once that's in the clamp, you can use your fingers, you can hold it with your fingers, but you've always got a chance of it slipping out and catching you. Right, you get the end of the hair and you thread it. Oh Christ, my eyes are going. Right, you thread it through the eye. Let me just show you there. Right, if you can see the hook, can you see how it is? You've got the point there, you've got the shank coming up, you've got the eye there, and I'm just threading it through nicely like that. Okay, and here comes the hair. Okay. Right, now it depends on how long you want the hair from your hook. You can either have it centimetres away if you like, or you can have it right on top of the hook. I prefer it just a couple of centimetres up from the end of the hook. As the hook just starts to curl around, then give myself an extra couple of centimetres. Only reason for that is if I just want to put larger baits on meat, or a large boilie, 15mm boilie, or if you want to bunch together a load of corn or something like that. So give yourself not plenty of room, but enough room, you know, plan ahead. But you can tie different rigs for different baits. You can always chop and change. Right, now here's the key. You need to wind this part up the shank, okay, about 5 to 7 times. If you look at the end of the eye, or if you look at the eye, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it's not a brilliant camera, okay, but as the eye goes around, as you see it go around, but there's a gap where obviously the eye on the hook, doesn't actually touch itself. It's not a perfect circle, it's just where the metal's been bent. Now you want to go the opposite direction. You want to turn the line opposite from where the gap is, okay? So let me have a look on here myself. I haven't even looked yet where the gap is. Right, the gap is facing me, okay? So I want to loop towards the camera, keeping tension also on this, okay, on the hair. Keep it nice and tight, guys. The tighter the better. Right, oh, he says pulling it way too tight. Right, okay, and winding it towards the camera, that's away from the brake. Okay, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, and 6, and I might get a 7th one in 7. Right, okay, you can see that's all tied around there. Now the key here is to bring this part back through the eye. Now I'm going to have to edit this bit because I cannot see that hole. It will go through, trust me, but let me get it through and then I'll take it from there, okay? Right guys, I've got that through now. This is where perhaps getting, instead of £20 braid, it's best to get a 15, because this is a size 8 hook, or a size 10, I can't remember, but nevertheless, it's an 8, but £20 braid is a little bit thick. It will go through the eye, but as I said, it's a little bit thick and fiddly, but you never know. Right, now I've left that hair there quite long. In fact, it's too long for my liking. I'll probably just use this rig for luncheon meat only, because I tend to like to put big cubes of luncheon meat on there for things like carp and barbel. But really, you wanna just get your hair not as long as that. Reason being is, don't forget, if it was a smaller fish, only a couple of pound, it might not be able to suck the whole lot in plus the hook. But for purposes of the video, you can see it better like this. Right, anywho-ha, that knot is now tied, as you can see. Okay, it's like, as I said, I think it's like a knotless knot. Right, now don't forget, next step is to put something to cover it. This is where the float rubber comes in. But as I said, if you want to, you can put your heat shrink on it. But it's a lot of fiddling about if you've got a heat shrink, because you've got to heat it up with a gun. Just put that on, pop that on. Now I'm just putting that on to cover that knot on the hook, just to keep it nice and covered up and away from abrasions and that, because I mean it's going to be rubbing on the bottom of the lake or river or wherever you're going to be fishing, and you never know, it's just going to weaken the knot after time. Okay, there's that, and just put another little bit on, because in a second you will see, because it's a pain in the butt if you don't put the second one on and you put it all together, you think, oh guys, you've got to bear with me here, my eyes really need to go to Specsavers, guys. Right, now last but no means least, the swivel. Now you can get all sorts of swivels, it's entirely up to you what you prefer. I've got just box standards size 8s. These will cost you like £2, maybe £2.50 for 10. And don't forget guys, you can reuse. Right, just tie a normal box standard, any old blood knot, half blood, whatever, anything that you're good at tying and you think is going to be strong. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just bear with me here guys. Even with this braid, my eyes are terrible. Don't forget to lubricate it, which means put a bit of spit on. There's probably some kind of joke in there about prison rape, but I won't go into that. Right, pull that nice and tight, really tight. Oh bloody hell, don't know my own strength. Right, that's on there nice and tight. Don't forget, get rid of the tag. That's what the scissors are there for. Okay, and remember I told you to add that extra little bit of tubing. That now comes into play, and that will go over that little knot that we just tied there on the swivel. Again, just to stop it from catching and so on, and that way, like, it keeps it stronger for longer. Oh, stronger for longer. That's probably a slogan for a mint company there. And there you go. Final product is probably the easiest hair rig on the planet to make. The Wayne's World fishing hair rig. There you go guys. Let me see if I can get it closer to the camera for you. There you are. It's probably the easiest little hair rig you'll ever make, and it works, as you've seen. It bloody works. And these will cost you, something like this in a tackle shop will cost you £2 to £2.50 a go, and you'll go through them like there's no tomorrow, and you can make your own here much cheaper if you buy in bulk and you spend a little bit of time. Okay, so there you go. The other thing that you can do is, once you sit at home and make these up before you go out, you can buy yourself, if I find it, where the bloody hell did I put it? Oh, it's there. You can buy yourself, whoops, one of these, and this is a wallet for putting your hair rigs in. I mean, it's entirely up to you how you put it in, but I mean, this one, oh, I don't know, I could just put it like this, for instance. It's like a little pin that they come with. There's only a little bit of what's the word, polystyrene sort of thing inside the wallet, but if you get a bit of polystyrene from an unwanted gift or something like that, you know, it'll work just as well. and there you go. You just put them in there, keeps them nice and neat. You make them all before you go out, close your wallet, and you're ready to go fishing. You can chop and change different baits, different lengths, and so on and so forth. You can even make it with floating braid for pop-ups and zig rigs. It's a very simple rig to make. I'll be honest, I can't say I was the one that came up with it. It's probably the most well-known rig to make on the internet. I'm just showing you how I make it and how I use it. So anyway, enough of the rigs. This is enough terminal tackle talk. Let's get straight back to the fishing down there at Manor Farm Lakes. Remember guys, keep tuned, Wayne's World Fishing. Guys, you're not going to believe this. I had 2 carp at once, one huge one and a small one of a few pounds. I think I've got my PB for carp. I can't believe it. This, you can't, 2 fish at once. I'm absolutely ecstatic. Nice. Look at that. Look at it. Look at that. What a beauty. Oh, beauties. Look at that, guys. Oh my goodness. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Look at that. 2 for 1. Buy one, get one free, eh? I'll have some of that. Guys, just look at the size of these monsters. Good grief. He's got to be 12, 13 pounds at least. What an absolute animal. I'm going to put this one straight back and this guy here. Gonna have to get a picture of this one. Good grief. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This fish is huge. Right. Let's have a way up. Quick way up. It's got to be a personal best. Got to be. Can't even tell. The lights do. Contemplate combat. It's 16 pounds. God, what a fish. What a fucking animal. What an animal. 2 for 1. Back of the net. Right guys, as you probably just saw, I just had 2 carp. One of them was 16 pounds and the other one was a bit smaller, about 13. I can't believe it, both at the same time. That is a serious angler when you can land one fish which is 16 pounds and then land a second at the same time. They're both in the keep net as you saw at the same time. I only have the one keep net and it's just me. So I originally thought that the first one had got tangled on my second rod, but it was a second fish. So yeah, happy days. I am a happy bunny to say the least. I don't know what everyone makes a fuss about all this carp fishing. Oh, it's hard work and that. It's not. You just follow the simple instructions. You use the Wayne's World fishing rig that I showed you, and you'll catch fish like that. Well, that's a lie actually. The bigger one was on the Wayne's World hair rig, if you want to call it that. That was with luncheon meat and bread in a PVA bag and bits of meat, flakes of meat. The second one was just a method feeder with about 5 or 6 maggot on the hook, size 10 hook, and on the feeder itself I just clomped a load of bread, you know, my favourite liquidised bread, and that seems to work. So yeah, I've rebaited everything, chucked the rods back out, so it's only just started really. I mean, it's what now, about just gone 10 at night and I've already had 2 great fish. Plus there's a meteor shower going to happen later, so I've even got all that to look forward to. Can't wait. So I've got the fish to look forward to and the meteor shower, and if I can I'll try and film a little bit of the meteor shower for you guys. But you know, you saw it here first. That's the rig of all rigs. Well, the rig of all rigs. It's a hair rig and I copied it from someone else. Just goes to show, innit? Some things you keep it simple and it works. So yeah guys, anyway, wet nights, tight lines, let's keep going. You never know what else lurks out there. The monsters come out at night. Wayne's World Fishing, stay tuned for more fish action. Right guys, here I am, still down here at Manor Farm Fishery in Biggleswade. Stayed the night, as you saw before in the previous clip. I had those 2 carp last night. I've already probably told you that anyway. But I'm still here, I haven't had much today. I've been on the pole, that wasn't very good. so I've decided to go on the feeder, and also just put the herring out with halibut boilie, halibut pellets in the PVA bag. And as for the feeder, I've run out of maggots. I was using maggot feed and I've run out of maggots, so I'm now using just again just a ledger bomb to a number 10 barbless hook, and I'm just putting a PVA bag around that filled with bread and halibut pellets and some cereal as well that I've got here. So just to try and attract some bream, perhaps with a lobworm on the hook. But anyway, the day's not over yet, but so far so good. I've really enjoyed my time here at Manor Farms. It's probably not the easiest of waters I've ever fished, but it's again not the hardest. But if you're more into tiddler bashing, I wouldn't recommend it. It's more to do with the bigger fish. But it's worth a shot for £22 for 24 hours. I'll give it a go. So yeah, you've got to be in it to win it, guys, and I'm always in it. I don't always win it, but I'm always in it. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. You never know, something might have it. So stay tuned, and you saw it here first. Waves World Fishing. Got another massive carp here, so let's try and get him out. Crack on the fish. Little stunner. Look at this, guys. What a fish. What an absolute animal. These carp, they don't give up. They absolutely go crazy. Hey mate, let me get that out of your mouth. And barbless hooks, guys, always use barbless, yeah. As I always say, it's better for you and for the fish. Look, he's still got plenty of life in him. Not as big as my one last night, but big nevertheless. And a bloody strong fish at that. What do you reckon to that then, guys? That's a cracking fish. That's Wayne's World Fishing for you. What a great way to end the session here in Manor Farm Lakes in Biggleswade. Great days, well, great night and great days fishing. What a cracking fish. Let's put him back. Another great session here at Manor Farm in Biggleswade on the Becks Lake. Had the free carp over the 24-hour period. I mean, £22 for 24 hours, pretty good for it if you ask me. Last night, the double-double, as you saw, 2 fish at once. Can't beat that, and cracking little carp today to finish it off. Anyway, I need to get home because I still need to shower. So, let's get going. Until next time, stay tuned for more episodes. Also, don't forget, comment, subscribe, and please like my videos. The more you subscribe and the more you like and comment, the more I'm going to keep doing them. Until the next time, guys, keep fishing, wet nets, tight lines, and enjoy fishing.
We were born to the floor. We won't be downtrodden.